gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Run It Back. Yes, it is your host, Lyndon Burton, and my guy, Dom O'Gary in the building. My guy, Dom, how you doing this week, man? Back again?
Doing great, man.
This is our third episode. Yes,
third
sir.
episode, man. I'm pumped.
First episode went without a hitch. Second episode, we had some audio issues, but after that, we were good. Third episode, we're not having no problems.
Nope.
We're coming in. First one, we did an action movie. Second one, we did a comedy. And this one, I like to call prestige director film because it's not an action, but it has action. It's not a comedy, but it's hella funny.
Right, it's not a drama, but there's drama.
It's drama, exactly. So these are prestige director films. To me, Martin Scorsese falls under this. Nolan falls under this. Spike Lee falls under this. Villeneuve falls under this. Fincher. It's those types of films where it matters more about who the director is than necessarily the genre of film. So I feel like the best way to start this one off is, what's your opinion of Tarantino?
Listen, I love Tarantino, man. Love him, love his films to death, man. I've seen just about every last one of them after seeing this one. And yeah, man, I enjoy every last one of them, man. Just the performances, the music choices, just the cinematography, most importantly.
Yeah,
almost every one of his films is just has excellent cinematography.
He is a fan of movies, and you can tell.
You can tell through the screen.
In his movies, yeah, exactly. And that's why his cinematography is so important. And to your point about casting, I love that he always gets someone who is down on their luck and builds them back up to prestige. Like, people think of John Travolta today as John Travolta, but if you were there in the 90s, that was the guy from Grease. And Pulp Fiction gave him second life. No one gave Pam Grier any movies post her blaxploitation run. And Tarantino was like, what the fuck? Why is that? Like, she needs to be an A-list actress. And I'll save this for background, but he was really upset about certain things after this movie. And I'll right now, can you pull up for me just to have when we get to background? The Oscars for this year of Best Movie, Best Director, and Best Actress. Or you might as well pull up the Oscar winners, because we'll talk about actors as well. It's 1997 was when it was released. So I'm assuming it's the 98 Oscars. If that,
I would assume so.
Right? Yeah. So if you could pull that up for me. But Pam Grier is one of those actresses. I mean, look at the guy who plays Max Cherry, Robert Forster. Dude wasn't.
Listen, bro. Listen. When I saw him, I was like, yo. And then throughout the movie was going, I'm like, okay, I'm all the way in, bro. I love it. I love it, man. And the last thing I seen him in was El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie. You know what I mean?
And that's recent. Like, back then.
Yeah, that was what, 2022 or 2021? One of the two.
No, actually, it might have been 2021, coming off a pandemic. I think it might have even been 2020, because I feel like it was like COVID was still.
That's just a time period that's almost a blur.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know.
Life was just going, bro.
It was just we was just at home watching TV.
Right, we was just there. Yeah,
that's a big fact. But then also you look at it, Michael Keaton. Like, I'm pulling up.
That was another big surprise for me.
Right now,
I did not expect to see him.
Like, Michael Keaton, this came out in 97. And Michael Keaton's last big movie was really Batman in 92. So, like, dude wasn't doing anything. This gives him second life. So Tarantino is the king of giving actors second life. And also, I love this because this is the first time he works with Robert De Niro, which at this point, everybody's like, will you work with Pacino? Will you work with De Niro? Will you work with Pacino? And, like, for Tarantino to get with De Niro and do this type of role, I thought was very interesting, and throwing a curveball at the audience who had wanted him to work with De Niro for so long. Because, like, De Niro's not the type of guy to do this type of role.
No, not at all. This really caught me off guard. Because, like I said, I wanted to go into this movie not knowing anything about it, besides what, people told me. I didn't look up the cast. I didn't look up anything prior to just turning it on and watching it. So seeing him play this kind of stoner role, I'm like, yo, wait a second. This is so unconventional
washed
for him
out,
as an actor. Like, down on his luck, just got out of jail, fresh out, first day out.
Facts.
No direction.
Big facts. And for everyone watching, sometimes we do scene rundown, sometimes we do talk about the film. This one will be a talk about, because I feel it works better for the film because these scenes are long scenes. It's like there's not where in Wanted we could break it down scene by scene. This is long stretches of dialogue and things talking. So I felt it would be best for us to just talk about the film naturally. And for us to begin, we got to start with background. So here's the background of the film. Well, let me ask you, did you like this movie, first off?
I loved it, okay, man. I loved
it. Have you seen all of Tarantino's films now?
Yes, as of now, yes.
Okay, so we'll do a ranking at the end.
Yeah, this was the final Infinity Stone.
I'm very interested to see where Jackie Brown falls on your rating when we get to the end. I've done my Tarantino rankings so many times, so people are probably like, it always changes, which it does. Depends on the day. So, Jackie Brown is a 1997 American crime film written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. It is based on Elmore Leonard's 1992 novel Rum Punch. And when Leonard saw the screenplay, he was blown away. He basically was like, Tarantino changed some things. He was like, no. Everything you did is perfect. You understand what I was going for in Rum Punch. And that's awesome because Elmore Leonard writes some of the best books. And for those that don't know, Justified is an Elmore Leonard book. So that's why when people heard Tarantino was going to work on the newest season, they were really excited. Whether or not he did or not, it's still unsure. It's not really like set in stone, but I would love to see instead of, I know he's going to give us his 10th original movie, which will be The Critic, but if he could fudge the rules and give us another Elmore Leonard based on movie, I think that would be freaking amazing. Yeah, man.
I would be here for it.
So it stars Pam Grier as Jackie Brown, a flight attendant who is caught smuggling money. Samuel L. Jackson, Robert Forster, Bridget Fonda, Michael Keaton, and Robert De Niro also appear in supporting roles. Jackie Brown pays homage to the 1970s blaxploitation films, particularly Coffee and Foxy Brown, both of which starred Grier. It is the only feature-length film that Tarantino has adapted from another work. Jackie Brown revitalized the careers of Grier and Forster, neither of whom had been cast in a lead role for many years. It earned a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for Forster and Golden Globe nominations for Jackson and Grier. It was released on December 25th, 1997. Received positive reviews and grossed $74 million worldwide. Real quick, I'll do the casting what ifs before we get into the Oscars, because I think the Oscars were rigged, which I'm glad I have you up. Tarantino wanted Pam Grier to play the title character. She was the first choice. She previously read for a Pulp Fiction character, Jody, but Tarantino did not believe audience would find it plausible for Eric Stoltz to yell at her. That was the girl that Eric Stoltz would have been with in the drug scene when and I think it just fit better for the woman that was with Eric Stoltz because she was more with the piercings and the tattoos. She was more of the drug person I would assume would be at the heroin dealer's den. Not Pam Grier.
She had to look at everything.
It's too sexy to be at the heroin dealer junkie's house. I'm sorry. Like, just
like, wait a second.
It just doesn't fit. Like, I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, just doesn't. Grier did not expect Tarantino to call her after the success of Pulp Fiction. When she showed up to read for Jackie Brown, Tarantino had posters of her films in his office. She asked if he had put them up because she was coming to read, and he responded that was hilarious because he actually was planning to take them down before she auditioned to avoid making it look like he wanted to impress her. He was a Grier fan for years. Several years after the release of the movie, we found out that Tarantino, and this is on his words, Sylvester Stallone claimed that he turned down the role of Louis Gara, which is De Niro's role, and that Tarantino wanted him. But this is factual. Tarantino considered 3 actors for Max Cherry before casting Forrester. Forrester was his first choice, but in case Forrester turned him down, he had these 3 guys in consideration. Now I'm going to start with the least exciting to the most. John Saxon, Gene Hackman, Paul Newman. I'm gonna be honest.
That would have been kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah,
Paul Newman and Pam Grier.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
one. Chemistry on paper. Just imagine it on screen. Oh my gosh.
That's the one that I wish, like, out of all of those 3, that's the one I wish we'd have got. Honestly, I'd take Robert Forster over Gene Hackman just because of Gene Hackman's previous roles. I don't know if I can believe he's the one that falls in love with this black lady and helps her. And maybe that's me being stereotypical because of the roles he's played previously. I'm sure he's not a racist and a nice guy, but he's just played a racist too many times.
It's all vibes. It's all vibes.
Whereas Also,
like,
I don't know.
What was the movie? The Western, was it like The Good and the Dead?
Oh,
Keith David. Ever since then, I'm like, okay, wait a minute, bro.
Or even in Forgotten, when he's the fucking Western and he fucks with Morgan Freeman.
Right.
And then
you got too many occurrences to be doing this, man. I'm sorry.
The French Connection, he runs down a black man, kicks him in his knee, and like just starts going crazy with these slangs. Like,
and there's 3 off the top.
Yeah, exactly. And we can keep going. We know about. Exactly. Also, I think, to pull a black lady as a white man, you got to have a certain kind of swag.
Yeah, you got to have some kind of gravitas to you.
And Paul Newman Paul Newman got that swag. Like, Gene Hackman doesn't have it. I would have honestly, I rank it Paul Newman, Robert Forster, Gene Hackman in that order. So I'm glad he got Forster. Also, Universal Pictures began preparing productions for Steven Soderbergh's Out of Sight, an adaptation of the Leonard novel of the same name, features the character Ray Nicolette, and waited to see who Tarantino would have casted as Nicolette for Jackie Brown before they did it. Michael Keaton was hesitant because even though Tarantino wanted him to play for it, Keaton agreed to play Nicolette again in Out of Sight, uncredited, and appearing in one scene, although the legal rights to the character were held by Tarantino and Miramax. And Jackie Brown had been produced first, so Out of Sight became Out of Sight.
Okay.
But could you have seen Stallone as in the Louis Gar role? I kind of could have.
I could. It would be very, it takes some time to get used to seeing that, but I definitely could see him in that. I think
if he's there, you need Newman to pull the star quality back up. Yeah. And that's no disrespect to Stallone, but it's just these people that are in there now are acting their ass off, and Stallone is, no disrespect to him, but he's not as good of an actor compared to the people that were in that movie, and you would need Newman to raise the level to where everything equals out. But I think it worked perfectly seeing Sam Jackson and De Niro in a movie together. Like, perfect.
Yeah. In that kind of role.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, it's such an unconventional role for De Niro. And then you got Sam doing his Samisms. So it's just
it was Samisms to the T. Like, bro, we're gonna get to Sam because like even down to, and he picked the choice, like the hair choices in the goatee,
the beard.
He picked all of that. That shit is crazy. Like,
it's so fly, though. He pulled it off, bro. Nobody else pulled it off, really.
No, for sure. For sure. Now, do you have the Oscars up? Who won? Let's start with Best Picture.
Okay. Best Picture went to Titanic, of course.
Okay. I get it. Whatever.
Yeah, it's Titanic.
What was nominated, though? Because I do believe this film should have been nominated.
So, As Good as It Gets was nominated. The Full Monty, Good Will Hunting, and L.A. Confidential.
All right. L.A. Confidential deserves to be there. Good Will Hunting deserves to be there. Titanic, whatever. But the Full Monty and the other one, Jackie Brown should have been over that. Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
Jackie Brown should have been over that. And honestly, you can argue that Good Will Hunting, L.A. Confidential, or Jackie Brown should have won over Titanic. And I would have been okay if any of those movies won, because Titanic's whatever.
Yeah, man. Titanic, like I said, man, Titanic is Titanic. Like at the end of the day, throughout the rest of film history, bro, people are just gonna look back on Titanic like it's just, this big, great, monumental, fantastic film, and it's just like at the end of the day, bro,
it's dude on a door.
That's it, man. That's it.
She had space, and Leo don't want to ever. He never will admit it, but there was space for him to fit on that door.
Yes, bro. There was plenty of room. She could have scooted her ass over. He could have got on there, bro. That's it. It's way too much room.
Who won director? Was it Cameron? I'm assuming.
Of course, it was Cameron, man.
Okay.
Nominees fill out there. That's Peter Cantaneo with The Full Monty. Gus Van Sant with
Gus Van Sant, yeah,
Van Sant, yeah. Curtis Hanson, L.A. Confidential, and Adam Egoyan with The Sweet Hereafter.
Tarantino should have been over The Sweet Hereafter and Full Monty. Sorry,
I was saying the same thing, bro.
Sorry. Like, all right, now let's get to the real egregiousness. Best actress. How the hell was Pam Grier not nominated? At least
not even
nominated,
bro.
That's some racist shit. Like, and Tarantino went out and called the Academy out. He basically said everything but y'all are racist, essentially.
I mean, looking at the nominations here and even the winner, I agree. And I'll go ahead and say who it was.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hunt won for As Good as It Gets. Helena Bonham Carter for The Wings of the Dove. Julie Christie for Afterglow. Judi Dench for Mrs. Brown, and Kate Winslet for Titanic.
Kate Winslet didn't even win, so that's the only one I'm willing to give it to. Pam Grier was so much more dynamic, and like back then, I'd say pre-2005, because that's when women really got on directors and stuff for being like, y'all aren't giving us meaty roles. This was a true meaty role for a woman where she should have been not only nominated but won. Like,
the film was written for her to do so much, and she executed it perfectly, man. Perfect execution in this role.
100%. And then I'm glad Robert Forster got nominated, but like Sam should have been nominated for best supporting. I agree. Jesus. Sam, De Niro, or even Keaton should have been nominated for supporting.
Yeah.
Like
they all did a fantastic job.
That's horrible. They got hosed. They definitely got hosed. But
we'll go ahead and get into that too. But Best Leading Actor in 98 won. Jack Nicholson won for As Good as It Gets.
Okay.
Matt Damon was nominated for Good Will Hunting. Robert Duvall for The Apostle. Peter Fonda for Yuli's Gold. And then Dustin Hoffman for Wag the Dog.
Wag the Dog? Robert Forster's good. Like, come on, man. Come on, bro. That's horrible.
Yeah, man. It's like, come on.
He's a lead actor in this. Like, or if you don't consider him a lead, then Sam's the lead. Then give it to Sam.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. That's just so odd, man. Like,
super odd.
Nowhere to be seen.
And then with
anywhere to be seen, right?
And then you give it to Forster for supporting, which I get, but Sam should have been there. You could also have nominated De Niro and Michael Keaton. Like, I'm sorry.
Way too many choices.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, if you're ready, let's jump right into it. So basically, like I said, I just want to talk about the movie. So I'll just go through some of the things I wrote. The first thing I wrote is, boy, that Bobby Womack intro hits so hard.
I'm telling you, bro. I wrote here too. That opening sequence is it's
amazing,
bro.
It
is so good.
The perfect song choice too. For this, like, it made me go dive. This movie made me dive into Bobby Womack, and like, it is just brilliant for this. It screams homage to blaxploitation in like the best of ways.
Yeah, and who can be mad at it? You know what I mean? And you know how I feel about blaxploitation films, so you know I can't be mad. But just seeing that opening sequence, just her walking, it's the simplest thing in the world. Just a tracking shot of her walking. You just hear this music, and you're just like,
it's perfect.
You can't look away.
So where else do you want to go? Because I will go back and forth.
Listen, man. I got here, bro. Pam Grier is so fine.
Yeah, I wrote the same thing down.
It's so fine, dog. I'm like, yo, this is just great to look at, bro.
Yep. I said,
give me 100 minutes of her walking. I'll be like, all right, you got my money.
Yep. Literally, I wrote Pam Grier is gorgeous. And she pulls it off as an older lady, like Black Don't Crack, baby. And it was just beautiful. The next thing I wrote down is Sam Jackson and De Niro start the movie off as low-down gun runners. But what we see from them is just perfect. You see Sam Jackson as someone who thinks he knows so much about the world, but doesn't realize in the grand scheme of things, he is a petty crook, like a petty gun runner. Whereas Lewis is the flip, someone who just got out of jail, but just can't readapt to society. No. Like, and you see that throughout the movie when the girl is trying to have sex with him, he doesn't know what to do. He first goes to have sex with that big black prostitute lady, and he's like, what do I do in this situation? And throughout the movie, you see it more and more up until Melanie's demise, where it's like he just snaps and goes back to prison rules, where he's like, I told you shut up. And she said one more word. And in prison, if you tell someone I'm gonna beat you up if you say one more word,
what's gonna happen.
Exactly. So he had to follow through, and he was someone that just couldn't get out of his own way.
Yeah. Trust me, when that happened, bro, I'm like, wait a second. I had to rewind it because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It just happened. And then like the next scene happens. I was just like, wait a second.
Yep.
Did he just do that?
Yep.
Yeah, he absolutely did.
Pick a character you want to talk about. Let's just go pick characters and we'll just dive into them.
A character I want to talk about, bro, is Chris Tucker's But Livingston.
I literally wrote down he is the perfect Tarantino actor. I'm so upset he got Christian and decided never to act in movies like this again, because this role was perfect.
Bro, I wanted so much more, bro. We heard his name more than we got to see him, and that hurt so bad.
Tarantino's dialogue fits Chris Tucker like a glove.
Yes,
he would, like, honestly, if he would have, and Tarantino wanted to work with him again, if he would have become like Sam Jackson for Tarantino, and we would have got Sam and Tucker in a variety of movies, Tucker would have won an Oscar by now. There's no way you
absolutely.
He is just hilarious and fits it perfect, bro.
Yeah. And he's just this young dude, and you're like, bro, what is this dude? What's going on? That's the first thing I was wondering. Like, what is even happening? And then as the story, unfolds, you didn't learn, and it's like, oh, okay, he had to go.
Yeah,
he had to go.
And it makes sense because just in that one little interaction of the way he was fast talking, smoking his weed, just enjoy, you knew that was a snitch. And, and if Ordell, who's played by Samuel Jackson, lets this guy go on further, Ordell will go to jail. Yeah. And he had to handle business. And I think Beaumont's idiocy of like, oh yeah, get in the trunk and pop out with a gun. Like his idiocy was his demise. And then when
he was the one that believed anything anybody would tell him. You tell him tomorrow the sky's gonna be green, he'd go outside and look up.
He gonna go outside and look up. And then the fact that he died a block away from where he was buried was just like, what? Like when you see him getting that trunk open, thing pow, and then he drives around into
and it was hard, bro.
The music choice after he died was perfect. Perfect.
I love the song already, but just the way that it cuts in all slow, and then the bass line kicks in, and then the vocals, and it's just like, this is just great.
Yes, man. Like it's hard to choose a best musical moment, which will be our category, because both the intro and that are super perfect. But I love,
and they're so close together. They're so close together, man.
I think a character I want to bring up now is Robert Forster's Max Cherry, because Max is so important, because this is the first time in Tarantino's career that we see a romance, but it's not a traditional romance where they fall in love and leave. They have an admiration for each other, Max and Jackie, that it could have developed love.
Yes, it develops, and that was so cool to see.
Like it was, to me, this relationship is the best one we've seen in Tarantino's work, even more so than Django, because this was a pure love. This was a love that started off as a seedling and was on the birth of being a flower. But before either of them can destroy it, they say, you know what? Let's put this in a glass, appreciate it for what it is. You go about your life, I'll go about mine, but we know that we had this time together.
Yeah, very special time.
And I think it works because they're older, and it's like they've been through things, and they know, hey, maybe we're not meant for each other, but we do share this love, so let's keep it pristine and go about our ways.
A real grown-up type of relationship. Real grown-up.
And like the fact that Max even went along with Jackie's plan goes to show how much they cared for each other.
Yeah, because any other man would be like, no, you are wild. I'm not getting involved in this.
I'm going to jail. Like,
yes. I'm going home. Sorry.
But I think that comes down to also Agent Ray. Agent Ray thought, and this goes to what I think the overall theme of the movie is manipulation, because Ordell's manipulating Lewis, Melanie, Jackie, and Beaumont. You got Ray manipulating Jackie, thus trying to manipulate Ordell. You got Jackie manipulating Ray, Ordell, and at first Max, but then it turns to love, which is why their relationship is the most successful, because it's not manipulation. Lewis manipulating Melanie, and it's all the way around. And Ray thinking he can manipulate Jackie, maybe to get in her pants, maybe whatever, whether it's to get in her pants or to be the best super cop. Whatever his infatuation was, he lost sight of the mission, thus being able to have Jackie pull the wool over his eyes. It was just insane. Like, I how did that cop let that happen? What a dummy!
Right? Yeah, right under his nose. Like, man, you started this whole thing, and look what's happening.
Yep. How do you feel about Agent Ray or Max Cherry, whichever one you want to go into?
Let's see. I'll go with Max Cherry, man. Max Cherry, like when I first seen him, the first scene he was in, I'm like, okay, I love this dude. How important is he going to be in this film? And I'm so glad to report that he was just like one of the main characters in the film, man, because he commands the screen in a way where I was like so invested every time he was on there. I'm like, you better not touch him. Yeah, nobody better touch him. Nobody ever better put a finger on this man, because he was pure. He was the innocence in the movie. He was the man. Honestly,
to
he
my
was just trying to do his
manipulation
job.
team. Exactly. He was the honest hard worker and gave everybody the truth. He didn't try to manipulate a soul, because it's funny, in his job of bail bondsman and then having to go pick people up if they run away, he is a manipulator. But the fact that he does his thing honest and truth shows that he's the bright spot in this movie.
Yeah, he has good in his heart.
Give me another
all of his
character.
Actions may not show that, but
facts.
That's the case.
Give me another character you want to talk about.
Dude, I want to say rest in peace to Sid Haig, because seeing him as the judge, I was like, yo,
what a good call. What a good call.
He was. I was just like, okay, we're doing it.
And he didn't want to arrest Jackie either.
Right? Yeah. He was like, look, I got other things I want to do.
Yeah, facts. He was like, we'll do this again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, but Jackie was a real one. She was not going to talk on Ordell. She was going to keep it
not at all.
Like, and then she realized, well, Ordell's not looking out for me, so I got to get mine.
Right. And she's like, wait a minute, what happened to Beaumont?
And with that being said, let's jump into Ordell. What a great character. Dude is a gun runner, pimping Melanie, pimping the other ladies. Like, he is
smart ass, overall smart ass.
Yeah. But like,
and he thinks he has it all figured out.
Exactly. He thinks he's a kingpin, but he's the top rung of low tier criminals.
Right. And even when what's her face?
Who,
Melanie, when she's talking about him, she's like, yeah, he thinks he has it all figured out. He thinks he knows this about guns, but that turns out to be him throughout the entire film. He thinks he knows everything what's going on. He thinks he knows his outcome, everybody else's outcome, but he has no idea.
No idea. And his thoughts of him being the smartest guy in the room when he's really the dumbest is why he got caught. Why would you send Lewis with Melanie, the two most oblivious people, to go get this money that is supposed to change
their
life?
Unfit. They are mentally unfit.
When you see Max Cherry and Jackie interacting, why don't you think anything more of it? But you're just like, no, they're not doing anything. I'm too smart.
He can't pull her.
And then you let Jackie just run amok over you because you think because she's an old lady and needs you, she wouldn't do anything. It was his arrogancy and cockiness that led to his
downfall. Yep. That was his downfall.
The master manipulator got manipulated. And then
exactly
Melanie,
at the end of the day.
even though Melanie thinks that, Ordell just thinks he's this hotshot, but you're still with him because you don't realize that you're manipulated. Talk about the biggest loser. Melanie's up there.
Yeah, I think she is the biggest loser, to be honest with you.
not to jump thing, but like, it's up. And then, like, man, Tarantino and his foot love got Melanie's foot on the
Listen, I said, I wrote here, I was like, here we go with the Tarantino-isms, because that was front and center on the screen, and it just kind of lingered. I'm like, all right, can we cut back to the TV, look at some more guns or something?
Got her toe on the glass. Would you have drank? Are we sure? Would you have drank that glass?
No. I'll pour that glass in her face, man.
I don't know where
you ain't got no home training. Like, what's going on here? What do you have going on?
But Lewis didn't give a damn. Lewis was trying to smash. which he did. And once he smashed, he realized, I don't want to deal with this girl.
Yeah. You've been exhausted. There's nothing else you can offer me. I'm sorry.
Also, man, why did her piece at first look like a crack pipe? Like, it went from the crack pipe to the bone.
Yeah.
I'm glad they switched, because that piece in the beginning definitely looked like a crack. I was like, what is this?
Right.
What are you smoking, Melanie? Any other characters or moments you want to discuss before we get to the other categories?
Yeah, Tiny Lister Jr. as Winston.
Rest in peace.
That was just R.I.P. Tiny Lister Jr. But that was just like random to me. I'm like, wait a minute.
I think Tarantino loved Friday. That's what this movie tells me. He loved Friday. But it was perfect though, and it also shows why Max Cherry's such a good person, because you got this guy working for you, and Ordell even comments like, "Did you want to take the picture?" He's like, "Yeah, I did, because I respect this guy." And Winston respects Max.
It's mutual. And that's something that Ordell has no idea what mutual is.
Zero.
Because he has to always have the advantage over somebody.
Exactly.
In every relationship he has.
That's why someone like Winston wouldn't have worked with Ordell. Winston would have either killed him or just not worked with him, period.
Right.
Facts.
One of the two.
Any other characters you got? Because that was a good one.
Dude, the scene towards the end where Ordell's on the phone and there's a chick in the back. I'm like, who is that? I just keep looking. I'm like, yo, she looks familiar. I'm like, yo, that's Raven's mom from That's So Raven.
You right.
And I looked it up, and it was indeed Takia. Was it Takia Crystal Kima? I was like, yo,
you right.
What a weird place for her to be in.
What a good pull. I'm trying to see if there's any other like just what the fuck cameos, because that's a what the fuck cameo.
I was just like, wait a second.
That's a category that's sticking because even though we didn't put it on the list, it just so happened that it was there. Like Tiny Lister, Sig Haig, like you said, Raven's mom. I'm trying to see if there's any other like what the fuck I was looking through.
Cameos? I don't see many at all that I
I think you mentioned the big ones. Like I think those are the big ones for sure. I think Tiny Lister Jr. would be the one where it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like you just see the picture and you're like, is that Debo?
Any characters you didn't like before we move on to like the major other categories?
Just Melanie.
Yeah.
That was it. I was annoyed with it. I was just so annoyed. I was like, yeah, she got a point about Ordell, but she's just annoying, man. And I kind of feel Lewis.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, definitely. Let me see if there's anything else I wrote down. I basically just said Jackie's a woman who's been around, and she's tired of being manipulated to the point to where she's so smart that she knew Ordell was a bad guy, that she took Max's gun and was ready for her in that scene where Ordell was gonna go kill her. Like he could say whatever he wants, but he was gonna kill her.
He was gonna do the job. It was dark and everything.
And Jackie had that gun ready for him, and that was one of the scenes that really made me love Jackie. I talked about Ray. We did Melanie. All right, perfect. Those are all.
I got one more thing. When they were talking to Max Sherry and Lewis is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go out to the car." He's like, "All right, here you go. Here's the keys." She's like, "Okay, what is this?" He had to explain that key fob to him. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, he was in the joint.
In jail, bro.
Yep. Like, golly, man.
Lewis's inability to connect back to society was his downfall.
Yes.
Like for sure. All right, what is your best scene?
My best scene, man, would have to be the mall scene. Just the triple take of the events that are taking place. I was like, okay, that's happening. And then they went back and I was like, okay, so we're doing this. So it was just fun to watch. Like everything, and I think the most important thing is that it all made sense.
Yep, facts.
Like there were no holes anywhere.
He did the 3-man weave perfectly.
Yes.
I'm torn between the scene where Ordell's going to kill Jackie and Jackie has the gun, or Melanie's death scene. I'm gonna go just to be different because Melanie's death scene is encompassing yours. I'm gonna go to the scene where Ordell's going to kill Jackie and Jackie's ready for him. Yeah. So that's my best scene. What's your best musical moment?
My best musical moment is definitely Strawberry Letter 23.
Okay.
It just is, man. Like it's just perfect. Who wants to die to that song?
Nobody. Yeah, it was badass.
Nobody wants to die to that song. And the fact that Beaumont had to just kind of solidified that for me.
Because you picked that one, I'm gonna go with Bobby Womack. The intro, just a perfect way to intro the movie. I think both scenes are just chef's kiss. You can't go wrong with either of them. Of them. All right, let's get to best actor of the movie.
Golly, man, that's just got to go to Samuel L. Jackson's.
You going Sam? Okay,
I have to, man.
Sam was great. Sam was great.
Yeah, and I wrote here too that I watched it on Prime, so it was funny how I had the subtitles because I normally watch with subtitles, and every time that he said the N-word, it added ER.
Yeah,
and I was like, yo,
I watched on Prime too. I saw it. Yes. I was like, what the hell? He is not saying
yo, who typed all this, bro?
Not a black person. He says
it with a strong several times. They're like, yeah, no,
like, wait different connotations. Bro. Different connotations.
Right. Different meanings, everything.
All right, you going with Sam? I'm gonna go with Pam. Sam and Pam.
Sam and Pam.
D4L. Yeah, D4L. Yes, sir. Doms and Lyn. Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, bro.
But yeah, I'm going Pam. I just think what Pam Grier did to reinvigorate her career, put herself in the forefront, showed that she was one of the best actresses, not just in 1997, 1998, but of all time. The fact that she was able to carry this movie, make it believable, have a romantic relationship, as well as be this brilliant mastermind, she killed it. So that's my best.
Like, even
actress.
in the scene at the end where she's like practicing how she's gonna pull the gun out on Ordell, I was like, yeah, I love this.
Yes,
I love her doing this.
perfect. And then when she just drives off and bye, Max.
Yeah.
Bye, Jackie.
I was like, oh, my heart.
Yeah, my heart. Yeah.
I was there in that moment. It's like, no.
Perfect.
Don't leave. Don't leave.
All right. What is your coolest moment of them?
Oh, man, my coolest moment might just have to be just her and Max Cherry's conversations. Like when he was just there and she's like, oh, I got this gun. And she's like, oh, you need protection? It's just a good moment. It just felt so wholesome.
Yep,
so I was just like, God, this is just cool. It's just good chemistry between the two. All of it.
My coolest moment is when she pulls the switch around on Melanie in the mall. Like, just badass, got her. And Max Cherry seeing all this, like, damn, you got her.
There's icing on the cake and everything.
And Ray's running after him, and it's just like, ooh, you got. Bravo. Right. So that's my coolest moment. All right. Let's get to 6-man of the movie. So let's determine our starters. Jackie, Max Cherry, Ordell, Lewis, Melanie, or Ray. I want to say Ray.
Yeah, I'm going Ray.
Okay, perfect. That's our starters. Easy. My 6-man's Beaumont Livingston. Done.
Same here.
Done.
Yeah, like I gotta agree.
It didn't matter who you put as the starters. Beaumont Livingston was my 6-man.
Gosh, man. And I put here too, like, seeing Chris Tucker just in anything just makes me so happy.
Bro,
I don't know. It's just I just get a brief moment of just serotonin.
If he did not fall off, like, let me pull up his IMDb, because I think Chris Tucker arguably has one of the greatest runs of actor history. Like,
you got Friday, Dead Presidents, this, Money Talks. Oh my gosh,
Rush Hour,
bro.
like,
yes.
All right, so he did. All right, here we go. We got it.
Fifth Element.
So he starts. Let's start with Friday in 1995. He then goes to Dead Presidents. He then does Fifth Element, which is incredible. He does Money Talks, Jackie Brown, and then Rush Hour 1, Rush Hour 2. Nah, bro. And then he falls off. He doesn't make another film until 2007 with Rush Hour 3, which is trash, Silver Linings Playbook, and then Air. Like, dude went on a run from 95 to 2001. Like, that is insane. Like, hit at Rush Hour 2, Rush Hour, Jackie Brown.
And there's not much bad that you can say about any of those roles.
The only one I'll say that was bad was Dead Presidents, maybe.
I can't even say that was bad. I love Dead Presidents, bro. Too. That's fire.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It has its slow moments, but like from beginning, middle, and end,
no, you're right.
My attention.
You're right. That's the weakest of the ones, if I would say. Like, and it's not bad. Like, it's
I think that's also due to the fact that he played a different role in that film. He played more of a serious role. And
I think he did a good job. Like,
he did fantastic. I didn't expect that.
His series is better than Kevin Hart's series. Like, we see comedians try better than Eddie Murphy's series. Like,
absolutely.
Like, that just is what it is. And I think if he
Dreamgirls is kind of fired. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, Dreamgirls. Look, Dreamgirls is.
Eddie smoked Dreamgirls.
But I'm gonna be honest. I think Chris would have smoked it too.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. I think if Chris Tucker continues post Rush Hour 2. Eddie Murphy might stick with animation.
Yeah.
Like,
he'd be dunking for a while.
It would be Jamie. To me, it would be Jamie and Chris leading the comedic, serious black actors. Like, he was that dude, bro. Like, bro, because Money Talks is slept on. Money Talks is great. With Charlie Sheen.
Heavily slept on. The comedy, it's got action.
When we do our next rotation, I'm putting Money Talks on my list.
Yeah, bro, we got to. I'm overdue for it, man.
Yeah, that movie's great.
I'm overdue for it.
All right, who won the movie?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Ooh.
Samuel L. Jackson won.
All right, so you going actor won the movie. You're not going character.
Yeah, character won the movie. I'm going with Jackie.
Character won the movie for me is Max.
Yeah.
Because Max learned he still had it. There's still life to live, and he found out that because he was in the mundane draws of being a bail bondsman, and he found that this was his he found that he is content with his life because he lives a good life and he's a good person. And he saw like a bunch of bad people and what that does. So Max is my winner. And then outside of the movie, I'm actually going to say Tarantino. Even though people didn't give him his flowers at the time, this is a movie that he got his flowers later. He made his most romantic and intimate movie. And I think that this is arguably in his top 5. I think Tarantino wins this movie. So hell yeah.
And I say Jackie just because she knew she was doing dirt.
Oh yeah,
she had all these adversaries going after her, and she still came out on top. Granted, she did have to let somebody go in the process, which she hated to do, but I just say she won. You know,
no, that's a big. I'm with you.
She won.
And and for your actor, Sam killed it. Like
yes,
it is
absolutely.
What it is. That absolutely.
And then look at the career that spanned afterwards. It's just like
facts. This was honestly, this might have been Sam's like jumping off point.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, he's no longer just a supporter. He's someone who can be a leading actor. Yeah, because let me pull up his IMDb. He does so many damn movies, but honestly, I honestly feel so. This is 97. So let me look leading up to this, because I think leading up to this, he wasn't a leading man yet. I think he
not necessarily. Yeah, no, not at all. Because
like
I see he was in Cool Days and Do the Right Thing, where he was just kind of side Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, Die Hard with Vengeance. Like you could argue that Die Hard was his big jumping off point, but I think Die Hard was his. Okay, he can be a lead, and then boom, he gets Pulp Fiction is like, okay, this guy is the real deal.
Yeah,
Die Hard is like, okay, he backs it up. This was all right. He leads the film. I think even though Pulp Fiction and Die Hard are his big keys, I think without Jackie Brown, it doesn't show that
it doesn't,
he can lead a film. So no, I'm with you.
Right.
All right. Who lost the movie?
Actor-wise?
Character-wise. No, we never say who lost actor-wise.
Melanie all day.
Yeah, it's
Melanie
always character-wise.
yeah. Melanie.
Hey, I'm going to Ordell. Like, Ordell lost everything. But
slowly, right in front of his eyes.
But and the reason why I'm going Ordell, because he had a chance to win. All he had to do was take care of Jackie. If he would have done right by Jackie, none of this happens.
But, the movie doesn't happen.
Exactly. But to your point about Melanie, look, Melanie.
All she had to do was shut up. She had to do was shut up.
But if you look at it from a even deep, she lost from the jump because she's been pimped by Ordell. Like you manipulated, duh. It's over with for you.
You're starting off 0-28. It's over. It's over for you.
At least it's not like Ordell, who had a 28-3 lead and lost it.
And blew
it.
This
was you just started like you said 0-28. It's over. You didn't have a chance.
The game just started.
So tell me, where does this fall in best plot twist among movies? Is this a good one? Did you like the plot twist?
I did. For the ones that are there, like I said, me going into this movie not knowing much at all about it, not looking at anything, not knowing the plot, and seeing what happens to characters, I'm like, oh gosh, that happened. For example, Lewis, for one. You know, I've already mentioned Melanie, but Lewis's demise, I was like, huh?
Yeah, I didn't expect Ordell to just blast him. Like, that was crazy.
Man, not at all. I was like, I get it, he's mad, but it's kind of, I kind of get it. But at the same time, it's like, yo, he just got out of jail, bro. He didn't like, all he was doing was doing what you told him to do, and she was endangering the mission in his opinion. Like in Lewis's opinion, she wasn't helping the situation. And if you felt that, okay, you trust Lewis, why did you send Melanie with him? That's your fault anyway, Ordell, because Melanie doesn't listen to nobody. Even when she was telling you, hey, you go answer the phone, or when she answered and just put it down for you. Bitch. Right.
Like, if I was a pimp, I'm a good dude, so that shit don't bother. If I was a pimp, bitch, bow. Exactly. Keep your pimp hand strong, Ordell.
Right then and there.
See, Ordell was too nice to Melanie. I think Ordell secretly might have liked Melanie more than his other women, because she got away with a lot more than he would have let those that black girl was terrified to be there, bro. Like, she was terrified of Ordell. She saw him as the devil, which, I mean, look, he was in. That goes with his attire too. The long hair, it was red with the I think that was a deliberate choice.
And just the way he moved,
snake-like, bro. Just slime.
It's like you see the dude on the street, you're like, yeah, he's up to no good.
Okay, so what do you rank this movie out of 10?
I'm gonna go with a 9.
Yeah, I'm with you.
10.
This is a solid
Yes.
9. Like this is a good 9. I can even go 9-1, but I like 9. We can rank this 9 right in there. Perfect for it. All right, let's do. We don't have to do all 10 unless you want to, but let's rank some Tarantino. Let's rank the Tarantino movies.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna pull them up. We can do all 9 if you want, or we can do the top 5. I don't know if you want to do all of them.
Let's do all 9.
All right, let's do all 9. Let's do it.
Yep.
All right, so we starting from the bottom up. Give me your 9. What you got?
Oh, wait, bro. Look at this. Look at what we got to choose from, man.
And True Romance doesn't count. It's movies he directed.
Okay. Oh, let's see. Let me pull this up then.
It's not. I mean, unless you want to say movies he's written, but like if we do, then that adds more than 9. You know what I'm saying? So if we just do a 9, it's just the directed.
Gotcha.
So I'll tell you what that includes. That includes we're not gonna do My Best Friend's Birthday because that was just like a thing he did in like of his. We're gonna start with Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill 1, Kill Bill 2, Death Proof, Inglourious Bastards, Django, Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, Death Proof is number 9.
All right, nice. I think that's 10 films, but like Death Proof, he doesn't count as a full film. Even it's like
gotcha.
It's split into 2. So, but I'm with you. You got Death Proof at the bottom?
It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom.
So that's your number 9. All right, for me. Oh man, for me, I'm gonna put Hateful Eight at the bottom. I've tried to connect with this film multiple times. I just maybe the next time I watch it, it'll connect. But I connected with Death Proof. I did. So like I can when I get to wherever I put Death Proof, I'll say why. All right, what you got? What you got at number 8?
Next is got to be Hateful Eight. I love Hateful Eight too, bro. I love it. But when you're looking at it with this scale, it's like, you know what?
And see, really for me, I got Death Proof next. And like the reason why I put it over Hateful Eight, I connected with the fact that these were some of his stunt workers that he was giving a shot to act. And like seeing Kurt Russell in this role of the boogeyman that's driving this car and some of the stunts they did, to me, just for like the craziness of it, is putting it over Hateful Eight. At least I connected with like, wow, this is insane.
Right.
So, for sure.
I feel that. Yeah, I think the reason I put Hateful Eight over Death Proof is just because I was like, what's going to happen to these characters?
Fair. And there's a good twist.
And I hate that I got involved with some of them because it was, it was such a enclosed space. I'm like, okay, I like that actor. I hate the character though. What's going to happen? And then, that the plot twist at the end. Yeah, I was like, okay.
That's one of his better plot twists. Even though I haven't ranked,
I agree.
It's one of his better plot twists. I got to give it to him. All right, what you got next?
Next might have to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Wow.
I know,
That's
bro.
Kind of low.
I know, man.
It's your list. Tell me why.
I wanted to connect with this movie, man. I really did. It's very stylish. The cinematography is there. Movie wise,
you think it's too slow?
Don't find myself. I think that's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
I just didn't find myself liking it, and I really can't find myself going back and just watching it and enjoying it.
My girlfriend
skipping to my favorite parts.
She watched all of the Tarantino movies with me leading up to that one, and she was like, "You like this movie?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "The other ones are just so action packed. This one is slow." And when I get to where Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is, I'll explain why. For me, I go Kill Bill Volume 2.
Ooh, so that's low.
Let me count the movies again. 1, 2, 3.
Because we might have to do 4, 10.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it is 10 because we counted Death Proof. So let me just say this: Hateful Eight is your 10. My 10 is Hateful Eight is my 10. Your 10 is Death Proof. My 9 is Hateful Eight. Your 9 is Death Proof. My 8 is Kill Bill Volume 2. Your 8 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Let me just say why Kill Bill Volume 2. Because I think everything they executed in number 1 was so freaking good. It was perfect. And I think 2, Michael Madsen and some of that stuff was great. I thought the lead up with Michael Madsen, and then the other woman was great. But I just think the execution of Bill, I didn't necessarily like.
Yeah, it was very, very much lackluster.
I just didn't like the ending. And when you compare it to some of these other films, it's hard at this point to put anything above it. So,
yeah.
All right, what's your number 7?
Kill Bill 2.
Okay, you just got one higher than me. That's
right
not that
there.
bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Okay.
But like you said, it's just another one of those films where, you know, they build Bill up over 2 films. You're like, oh, this dude must be it. But then you see him and it's like, he's just an old man.
Yep. Okay, so my number 7, am I putting Once Upon a Time here, or am I gonna get it to 6? I don't know if I can get it to 6.
I don't think you can either, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Once Upon a Time here at 7. That's the highest I can get it. Look, I love Once Upon a Time, and maybe I was torn between this and my next one, but the next one is just so classic. I think it's still too early for me to put it above some of the others, but I do think some of the stuff he did with Leo and Brad was some of the best work he's done.
Absolutely.
I think the ending is one of the best endings. I just think in the middle, it's a little slow in the middle. Like, he could have sped up some of the stuff. And if he did, it might have been a better film.
Yeah, trim about 25, 30 minutes off. Oh, yeah. I'd rank it higher.
So, what you got at number 6?
Number 6.
This is where
I'm going Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, same. That's my number 6.
I'm going Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, same. I didn't know if I was gonna put Once Upon a Time above Reservoir Dogs, but Reservoir Dogs is it just has those quotables, the tipping thing, the Madonna music. Like a virgin, the music, the dude dancing before he cuts off the
dude's ear, man.
Sick business. The Paul Buscemi, like Steve Buscemi, the emergence of him, bringing back Michael Madsen, like the cast of Harvey Keitel, being that this is your first real movie and you did it on a shoestring budget and it felt amazing. And the fact that you had me interested in this without showing the heist.
Yes, bro. It's a heist movie without the heist.
Bro, fucking
like, this is great.
Yep. It's better than some heist movies with the heist. Like,
yeah, exactly. So that is a fact.
I am with you. Number 6. All right, what you got? Number 5. Now we get into
number 5.
Yeah,
I'm going Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, wow. I'm going to punt. So punt is, when I say punt, I mean I'm going to punt to talk about it till later because it's up higher for me.
Higher. Okay.
So
gotcha. We'll do that.
At number 5, and it's because it's much higher. If I had one of, we could talk about it. But my number 5, so basically we have Inglourious Bastards, Django, Pulp Fiction, and Jackie Brown left, essentially. Oh, and Kill Bill Volume 1.
Kill Bill 1.
Kill Bill Volume 1. Okay. So, all right. I'm assuming this is a punt for you. I'm going Kill Bill Volume 1 at 5.
Yeah, definitely a punt.
All right. So we'll wait. All right. That's perfectly fine. Number 4, what you got?
Number 4, I got... Golly, man, it's getting tough,
it's
bro.
Tough. Yeah, no,
it's getting tough.
It's super tough.
Yeah, I got to go with Django.
All right. Cool deal. I got Django as well, number 4. What a great Western. Jamie Foxx is incredible. Christoph Waltz, after seeing him in Inglourious Bastards, the flip.
Perfect.
Incredible.
Oh my gosh, man.
Leo's incredible.
DiCaprio, Samuel L. Jackson in another slimeball role. Just knocking it out the park.
Yeah, like this movie.
A random Jonah Hill.
Bro, and kills it. In any other person's filmography, this is top 3. But because it's Tarantino, it's number 4. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Django is fucking great.
I loved it every second.
What you got at number 3?
Number 3, I got Jackie Brown.
Number 3, all right, I'm gonna we don't have to punt, but my number 3 is Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
So that's my number 3.
And look, that's my number 2. So.
That's your number 2. Okay, so boom.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and talk about it.
All right, and boom. So Pulp Fiction, my number 3. My number 2 is Jackie Brown. So we're right there.
Pulp Fiction for obvious reasons.
Great. I mean, it's
great film.
It's fucking great. Like, to me, the only reason why I put Jackie Brown ahead of it is because it's something we've never seen from Tarantino before, whereas Pulp Fiction felt like the upgrade to Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
And talk about an amazing upgrade. Butch, the character of Butch is extremely well written. To tie that in with the weave of what went on with John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson, like, fucking great. And then Ving Rhames.
Marcellus.
Pulp Fiction is incredible. And then, like, the cast having so many different people pop up and like show up. The only scene that I and this is the scene that I knocked it down to 3, even though I'm not critical of it as other people. The Tarantino scene where they with the wolf. I think the wolf scene had to have, but he ain't had to say all the N-word like that. I get it.
Right, yeah. That was a bit much.
It. But that was just a tad much. And I defend Tarantino. Exactly. I defend Tarantino, but that's just one of the ones as I've gotten older, I'm starting to understand what people are saying. I understand the criticism. I don't agree with it, but I understand it.
Right.
So
same here.
And so your 3, Jackie Brown, my 3, Pulp Fiction, your 2, Pulp Fiction, my 2, Jackie Brown. So your 1 is Kill Bill.
Kill Bill Volume 1
is Inglourious Basterds. Talk about Kill Bill, and then I'll talk about Inglourious Basterds.
Kill Bill Volume 1 is the perfect film. It's beginning, middle, and end. It's the perfect film. I saw this film Halloween 2001, I believe, maybe, at our neighbor's house. And I was like, yo, what am I looking at? It was the end scene. That's when I walked in and I saw the rest and I was like, I got to see the rest of the movie.
The verse to 88 is sick.
Yes. So I begged my mom. I'm like, hey, I got to see this movie today. We're watching across the street. She was like, okay, I know it's not for you, but
we're going to let you watch. Yeah.
That was one of my movies, man.
Like her going to
Thurman's role in that film is just
the Hattori Hanzo sword, like training
just,
with I think his name is Master Pei Young. I think that's his name. Pei something. But training with him was an amazing scene. Her taking out Vivica Fox. That movie is it's awesome.
Yeah, trying to figure out why is this white woman so mad at everything? Why does she want to kill people, bro? What is happening?
And when you see her crawl out of that car after she had muscle atrophy, and when you learn about what they did to her, it's like, holy shit.
Like on what day? It's just golly, it's just so great, man. It's like it's the perfect revenge flick for me.
It's
the perfect revenge flick.
It's up there. No, I think in Run It Back one day we're gonna do like our we'll do top 10s on Run It Back. Revenge films. It's up there, man. It is up there. So my number 1's Inglourious Basterds. To me, Inglourious Basterds is a tale of film which I don't know if the level of execution will ever be achieved again by someone else. He had not only English, German, Italian, French, all of these language intertwining with each other to tell a perfect film. And he didn't write them he wrote it in the language that it was supposed to be written in so he could have the dialect that he wanted. The actors, the emergence of Christoph Waltz is one of the best film villains of all time. The story of Shoshana, to have the stuff with the Bastards with Brad Pitt and I'm gonna collect my Nazi scalps. I need my 100 scalps. Like so many quotables. I call myself Donowitz. That comes from this film, Donnie Donowitz, the bear Jew, the way he bats people. Like that was just
and seeing Tim Roth as well, I was just like, okay.
Tim Roth killed, and I think of just all of these monumental scenes, the unnatural Mexican standoff that's people don't consider a Mexican standoff, but it 100% is when he does the 3 glazers, but it's supposed to be, I think, hold on, I think it's this or it's something like that. Hold on, let me pull up the German hand sign. Hold on, because I have to do a hand sign for it comes up right when you type in German hand. Oh, so it's this. Let's see. This is the German hand sign. So he should have did this, but he did this, and it gave him away. And that standoff between Stiglitz, Fassbender, and the German officer. Talk about tension the ass, bro.
Yes, I was at the edge of my seat.
To me, that is the perfect it's not a revenge movie, it's not a war movie, but it's a perfect just retelling of an event in someone else's own idea. It's
someone that may not even be interested in that time period would love this film.
Exactly. And it's like this is how Tarantino wanted World War II to go. And just seeing it in his eyes, it's beautiful. Mike Myers has a great appearance. Like, it's just so many different actors that go in and kill that movie. I love that movie.
And then just the ending overall, I was like, yo.
But to be honest, any day of the week, my top 4 could be rearranged.
Yeah.
Or my top 5.
Depending on how you feel.
With Django could be one, Kill Bill could be one, Pulp Fiction could be one, Jackie Brown could be one. Yep. I think Jackie Brown and Inglourious Basterds, Django, Kill Bill, and Pulp Fiction are the top 5 Tarantino films, wherever you want to put them. And I would take his 5 over anybody else's 5. Like, the only other director that I think could come close is Scorsese. I think Scorsese could come close. I think now Nolan could come close with Oppenheimer being in there. Villeneuve's almost there. He has to finish Dune first for us to. Yeah. Fincher's up there though, because I mean, when off top, you could say Social Network, Fight Club, Gone Girl, Seven. Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Yeah, I'd say Benjamin Button.
Am I missing another one? Like in his 5?
Not that I can think of. Yeah.
Let me just real quick because we're doing this. Seven. Oh, I am 7. Fight Club, Gone Girl, Social Network, Zodiac. Zodiac's fucking incredible. Yeah, it is. Like you just like so when we talk prestige directors, expect a list with it. But that's pretty much our review. So Dom, you know what time it is. My favorite time. Let's get it. Show to pick the next movie. So let's share the screen. Share the sound. So y'all can see I'm taking Jackie Brown off the list. All right, let's see what we get. Oh, I'm excited. I will say if it's another Tarantino film, I will redo it. So
okay.
Oh shit!
Especially since we just talked about.
Oh shit! Oh, Spotlight!
Oh man, I was about to say.
I thought it was gonna be Parasite. Which is crazy.
I love Parasite so much.
I do.
I love it so much.
But let me say
I haven't seen it.
Parasite is great, but not to shit on Spotlight. Spotlight is Spotlight is arguably the best newspaper film. Yeah, so I'm excited to talk about it. Another Michael Keaton. So it looks like we're in our Michael Keaton bag right now.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
Be on the lookout for that. We'll probably have that, if not later this week, Sunday, Monday of next week. So we'll just be on the lookout from now until next Monday. But Doms, tell the people where they can follow you at on social media, my brother.
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram at Domo Gary. That's DOMOGARY. You can follow the podcast called The Dom Trap on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. That's The Dom Trap, THEDOMTRAP.
Yes, sir. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Dom and check out his podcast 100%. You can follow me at LynBWT. Follow the Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. A lot of good content out now from Bros Who Binge, Bros Who Think podcast, the One Piece manga review, Black Clover manga review, the Workshoot show. All of our shows are out, so make sure you check that out. But
and also real quick,
go ahead.
If you want to watch Spotlight with us before the next our next review, you can find that on HBO Max or Max.
Oh, okay.
It's on Max.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man.
Is there any other place or is it just Max?
Max is on Hulu with the bundle, which I'm pretty sure is just the Max.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me because we got to do that every time we do where you can watch it at with Spotlight on HBO Max. But yeah, the next one we will be doing Spotlight, so make sure y'all check that out. But for Doms, my name is Lyndon. Until next time, peace.
D4L out. Peace.
Yes, sir.